If you could only eat one last meal before you died, what would it be? Death row inmate Donald Eugene Harding chose several fried eggs, several strips of bacon, toast, butter, honey, and orange juice. This is last meal. Okay, so we're gonna start with the bacon. So take a frying pan, put it on the stove, and turn it to medium heat. No, wait! Don't do that. A lot of people say to preheat the pan, but bacon is something you don't want to do that for. If you put bacon down on a high heat pan, it's going to stick to it. But it has a lot of fat in it, which you can use to make it not stick. The trick is you just got to render some of that fat out before the pan gets too hot. So start with a cold pan and lay down your strips of bacon, and once they're all in place, then you want to turn it on. This will allow the fat to slowly render out, which will make it not stick. And you want to continue cooking it low and slow. That will render more and more of the fat out, and you'll get a nice crispier bacon that way. Now, if you're cooking on a gas stove, the heat might not be super even. It's probably more concentrated in the middle of the pan, so you're going to have to do some fiddling with it to make sure that it cooks evenly. Just keep moving them around every few minutes. Give them a flip here and there. Try to get it as even as possible. And just keep doing that until you hit your desired level of doneness. I like crispy bacon, so I'm going to lean towards the more well done side of things, but you do you. Once they're done, take them out of the pan and lay them on a plate lined with paper towel to absorb the extra grease. Also, way to burn the bacon on your video, stupid. There's a whole 3 people watching this. How embarrassing. I like to roll the bacon up in the paper towel afterwards, just to absorb as much of the grease as possible. Now, you might think that since the bacon grease is currently in a liquid state, down the drain it goes. But if you have to do your own plumbing, I would definitely not do that. Because once it hits those cold pipes underground, it will chill and solidify back into its solid form. So I like to collect it in a jar like this, wait for it to cool, and then just throw it in the compost. Alrighty, time to start the eggs. When I was a kid, I thought the word several meant 7 specifically. Turns out it just means some. So we're going to go with 4 for this one. If you thought ahead enough to leave some bacon grease in the pan, you could just use that. But if there isn't enough, just add a bit of butter. Then make sure to tuck it in, nice and tight. And then we're going to crack each of the eggs into the pan. Oh no, we got a burst. Following in the footsteps of YouTube legend Ordinary Sausage in all the worst ways. Anyway, season the eggs with a pinch of salt, always a pinch of salt, and pepper if you like. Did I mention that we're doing over easy eggs? We're doing over easy eggs. It's kind of the best kind. It's like a fried egg, but instead of being gross and raw on the top, it's cooked all the way through with a nice runny yolk to dip your toast in. So after a few minutes on the first side, I give each of them a flipper doodle doo, as the kids say. Nice and ugly, just how I want it for a video. And now season the other side as well. As these are finishing up, I'm going to give you some pro tips on how to cook toast. First, you take some bread, and then you put it in a toaster, and then you push the little thing down. Then, a few minutes later, voila, toast. You couldn't have done it without me. Alrighty, now time to plate this masterpiece. I do realize how unnecessary it is to do a cooking video for bacon and eggs. I mean, I might as well do a cooking video for boxed macaroni and cheese at this point. But that's what the guy wanted. Who am I to argue? He also wanted honey on his toast in addition to the butter, which is an odd choice for me, but, well, that's what he wants, so let's go for it. And of course, breakfast ain't breakfast without a nice glass of OJ. And there we have it. Bacon, eggs, toast with butter and honey, and orange juice. I gotta say, the honey on the toast was pretty sweet. Even dipping it in the egg yolk, it worked really nicely. The sweet and salty combination worked well together. I'm also noticing right now that there's something floating in the orange juice. I probably should have paid more attention to that while I was filming it. Oh well, bottoms up. So, it's a pretty good meal, but it's a little basic, even for breakfast. Like, you think you could add some home fries or hash browns, some sort of potato option. Bacon, eggs, and toast alone, it's fine, but it could be improved. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10.